We're talking about the biggest mistakes that you can make at visa interviews. Now, this would apply if you're attending a physical interview or in most cases when submitting your visa application. So what are the things that you should avoid? The reason why I'm doing this video is because I do get a lot of comments and I do have a visa support service that I provide, and I see mistakes that people make, and I'm able to identify 3 mistakes that I think that people should avoid when making their visa application. First mistake that you must avoid is lying. Lying is one of the biggest mistakes that would affect your visa application. Now, it won't just affect you at one point, because I find people would lie at a single point, and then maybe when they're making, let's say their visa was denied and then they're making another visa application, they now realize that they are stuck with the lie that they told in the first visa application. So one of the biggest mistakes that you would make would be to lie. Now, it would be either lying when completing your visa application form or lying when you are attending your visa interview. Now, the thing about a lie is that once you tell a lie, then you need more lies to cover up that. Imagine that, you're asked in your visa application if you're married or if you're single, and then you lie that you are single when in fact you are married. Now, the problem with that is that you have to be consistent with that lie. Everything that you would be presenting to support your visa application has to show that you are single when indeed you are married. And let's imagine that tomorrow you would like to have your wife, join you. Now, it means that by the time you have to, let's say, declare later on that you're married, you either have to go forge a marriage certificate to show that, yes, the date you married this person is different from the original date which you had. And if you say you had children, okay, let's say you claim that you were not married, but okay, you had your children outside wedlock, it means you have to come up with more lies to cover up that particular lie that you told. So you see why lying is not a good idea. Now, the thing about lying is that once you lie and then you are caught, it would affect the outcome of your visa application. In most cases, you can be banned for an extensive number of years if you are caught lying. So lying is never a good idea. Now, another thing you would find is that most times let's say you're attending the US visa interview, you are required to complete your visa application form. And then let's say you state one thing in your visa application form, and then by the time you show up for your interview, you say something completely different. Now, that is inconsistent information. Now, I do understand that in certain cases, your circumstances may have changed. Now, what do I mean by that? A typical example would be, let's say, by the time you completed your visa application form, you worked with one company. And let's say it took you a while to get an appointment date. And before your visa appointment date, your employment status had changed. You either, got a new job or you switch from company A to company B. Now, when you're showing up for your interview and then you're asked, where you currently work, that information would, if you're telling the truth, then that information would have changed. What you should do is offer that explanation upfront. What do I mean by that? And so what you're going to say is when you're asked what you do and where you work, you simply say, okay, I work with company B, but previously I worked with company A and I just started this role on this day. So you're going to be explaining, and you ensure that whatever you're saying is consistent with the period that you are claiming you started the job. Because if it's shown that you started the job before you completed that you worked in that place, then it's inconsistent. And then if you're not convincing, it would make them think that you are lying. And what you have to understand is that by the time you're attending the US visa interview, you won't have enough time, because the officers have many people, many applicants that they have to consider, in a day. And so they don't have the time to pay so much attention to you. So you find that you have a very short window of opportunity to make your case. So that's why you don't want to prolong it. You want to be upfront. You want to provide concise, and sufficient answers, so you don't have to spend so much time explaining. Another thing is, when you're attending your visa interview, another mistake that would affect you is not providing complete answers, or for example, maybe dropping like single answers. For example, you're asked, why are you visiting the United States? Of course, you would have completed the reason in your visa application form. But if they're asking you, they want to understand why you want to visit. And that's your chance to just take that and run. Yes, I know I always tell you, do not talk too much. Talking too much, you don't want to say anything that would require you, that would bring up more questions and then, just mess everything up. So you want to keep, in as much as you want to avoid dropping, single answers, you want to ensure that whatever answer stays within the purpose of your trip, and then you're not, deviating and bringing up issues that are not relevant, to the purpose of your trip. So relevance is very important. What do I mean by that? You're being asked, why do you want to visit the United States? And then you're like, I want vacation. You don't want to do that. So what you want to say is that I have my vacation coming up, my family and I would like to, spend time in Houston, for our 2024 vacation or 2025 vacation. And while we're there, we also plan to see my sister who lives here. Or you just simply just say, if you're traveling by yourself, okay, you're going on vacation to New York. And so when you ask things like, okay, what do you do for a living? You have the time to explain what you do for a living. Oh, I work as a marketing executive with XYZ company. So don't just say I am a marketer. I work as a marketing executive with XYZ bank. What do you do? I'm a corporate compliance attorney with XYZ law firm. So you're not just saying, what do you do? I'm a lawyer. No, just engage them in a way that would make them, either, believe you, and maybe also, give you, make you appear credible and make it look like you understand what you're doing. You would also build your confidence, because when you're explaining these things and then they actually believe you, then they want to give it to you because they can see that you're, doing well for yourself. So don't just go there and say, oh, I am a plumber. Okay, I work as, a plumber with this establishment. Oh, I'm self-employed and I provide these services to XYZ. So make it easy for them to, appreciate, make it as interactive as much as possible. For example, they would say, okay, so what would you be doing when you're in the US? Don't just say, okay, I am just going to go and rest. No, you're going to, I plan to spend 1 week in Houston, maybe just relaxing. And then I will take, my family and I will take a road trip and maybe visit Dallas and maybe visit Austin, Texas. So I'm going to spend 1 week, just try as much as possible to engage them, because it would show that, yes, you have done your research, you have a plan, and you really, really, really want to be there. So I would spend 2 weeks, in Houston, Texas, and then I would, my family and I would take a road trip from Houston to Austin to go see XYZ. And then from there, we would take another road trip to Dallas before coming back to Houston to connect Lagos. So you have an opportunity to shine. Don't just drop one-liners, just engage them and just make it believable. Okay, something like, okay, I've not taken a vacation in the past 5 years, and I think this is the right time for my family and I to spend time together in this place. Just make it believable. Another mistake that you must avoid is not organizing yourself. Now, I know that most times when you're attending your visa interview, it's kind of really tense. It's a tense environment. You're subjecting yourself for someone else to, scrutinize you, because that's what it is. Even when you have genuine intentions, you have to subject yourself to someone else to decide if they want you or not. It is not a very friendly environment, and so you may be tensed. Now, the best thing you can do for yourself is to organize your thoughts and also whatever document that you think you want to go with. Now, you don't want to, no matter how scattered you are in life, no matter how disorganized you are in life, it's not a time for you to be that person. So you want to organize your documents, in accordance with everything that has to do with the same things. You just put it together. It will just help most times to maybe like put a sticker note on top of each page. So by the time you're flipping through it, the sticker note would actually identify the documents that you're looking for. For example, you have your bank statement, you have your invitation, letter, from whoever is inviting you, and then you have your work, something that was given to you at work. If you have a sticker note on it just saying, this one bank statements, because those sticker notes are kind of colorful. So by the time you're looking at it, okay, this is bank statement. It helps you. So when you're organizing your documents, and then if you think you want to present any documents, I would be attending a conference in Dallas. Would you like to see the confirmation for this? And then they will tell you, okay, yes, I want to see it, or no, I don't want to see it. So in case they ask you, okay, yes, I would like to see it, you just know where to go and pick out the documents and give it to them. Now, you have to be prepared. Organizing your thoughts and organizing the things you have to do has to do with being prepared. If you're not prepared, you would find that you would lose an opportunity to shine. So in as much as it's tensed, what you need to do is that you also have to prepare yourself, which is why I put out these videos here, to help you, because I put out the videos and then, to give you the heads up. And then also, if you see common questions that are asked, and then it would help you know, and kind of prepare, not necessarily cramming, because one mistake you don't want to make is to go there to be a scripted robot. Like you just cram, I saw on this channel that these are the questions that I asked, so I'm going to cram exactly the way she has said it and go and say, no, your situation is different, so you want to present yours, and not just be a scripted robot. You don't just lift what I have said and then you go think that you need to follow those lines. No. What I give you here is just to educate you, to make you understand where the questions, would be coming from, because it would depend on the purpose of your trip. Purpose A is different from purpose B, but these are the common questions, because when you look at these common questions, then you would know that the questions they are going to ask you would be, relevant to your trip. It will be things around, the reason why you want to travel, who you are, and what you do. Understand the purpose of your trip, understand it for yourself, organize your thoughts, organize your documents. That way you would be explaining what is relevant to you and not what you heard someone else, talk about. So I hope this really helps. These are the mistakes that you should avoid when you're making your visa application, when you're attending your visa interview, because it would be a reason why you would be denied. If you lie, it's a done deal. If you are not organized, you will not be able to convince them. If you drop one-liners, they will think that you're not serious, maybe you really don't need, the visa that you're applying for. So I hope this helps. Now, if you do have any question, leave your comments. I will respond. And then if you like this content, hit the like button, and then also subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. So I hope this was useful. Share it with someone.